Hello, Tony Walker here. Another round of videos for you. Whenever I started having to actually use the EDC stuff as I had gotten into as a hobby in an actual day-to-day basis, one of the things I thought I would need with my first new job would be a way to keep different types of money together or separated. For instance, keep my stuff together and stuff for the youth group. If a kid said, "Hey, I brought some money, but my mama told me to give it to you," that type thing. At the time, I was carrying a money clip, front pocket wallet type deal, and so I thought that I would probably need something a little bit more robust with more storage, which I ended up getting one of these. This is a Maxpedition Spartan. This would be a Maxpedition Urban, and this is a Maxpedition Micro. We'll talk about those in a moment. But I thought that I need something with a bunch of slots and this, that, and the other. So one of the first things I did when I knew that I'd be doing something different, I went over to Going Gear in Atlanta, near Atlanta, Georgia, in Smyrna, Georgia, and got a couple of things that I thought I'd be using on a daily basis. Some of it I have ended up using a good bit. Some of it I haven't. But this is one of those instances where I thought I needed something and I didn't, and ended up actually getting something else that Maxpedition makes. So just to show you a little overview, like I said, this is the Maxpedition Spartan. It has a Velcro closure on the front. On the back, it does have a mesh pocket that you can see through, but it is secure. Nothing's going to fall out of there. This is the largest wallet that I have from them. Nothing that you're going to put in your front pocket. This will be more for carrying in your back pocket. But as you can see, you've got 1, 2, 3 card slots in the middle. 1, 2, 3 card slots on the bottom, still made out of the mesh material. That's the same on the back. You can identify the card without having to pull it out. So you've got 6 card slots between those two. You also have, if you want to count that as a card slot, that would be 8. And right here would be 9. And if you want to count that as a card slot, say 10. So you've got 10 different slots to store a card size item in, as well as a bill size pocket there, a separator, mesh separator between the two, another card slot, bill or check space there. And also, I ended up not using them all that much, but you've got some little Velcro tabs to cover up the cards once you get them in there. I found it to be not all that necessary, so I ended up just tucking them behind, but you could use them for that purpose. So, as I said, 10 different card slots that you can make use of, and if you wanted to double up, you could fit even more in than there if you didn't want to just do one card per slot. But you've got your about 6 inches long there for cash or check. Same thing on the back, as well as this pocket right here runs the entire length of the wallet down in there. So you could, if you want to keep checks in one spot and small bills in another, and then maybe hide some larger bills back in there without folding them up, they would run the whole length of that right there. So that is the Maxpedition Spartan. But when I got to carrying this, it ended up really being more than I need on a daily basis. There is some instances where we'll take some youth group trips where it's more than just a one-day outing. It might be a longer type deal, and I need to keep up with a lot of receipts or papers or money for different groups. It comes in handy then, but just on a day-to-day basis, ended up being a little bit of overkill for me. So what I ended up going with is and these two, I got that from Going Gear, this one from Going Gear. These two I picked up off Amazon. Had a guy kindly send me a Amazon e-gift, and so I used it to get a couple of Maxpedition things. And this is a Maxpedition Micro. Maxpedition Micro. Has a slot on the back to store a card. So if this is something, if you wanted to keep a debit card in there without opening your wallet, you could do that. Has a ID window there for keeping driver's license or identification. And then on this side it has a slot in the back and then a slot right there. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 slots. And this actually ends up being plenty well. The way I have mine set up, I keep my driver's license, CWP, and a personal credit card in this slot right here. In this slot, I keep my debit card. In this slot, I keep all the church-related cards. The couple of cards I use for church things. And then on the back here, what I do is I try to keep handy about 3 or 4, 2, 3, 4 of my business cards. Now my business cards are kind of double folded. They open up like a book, and so this technically would be the thickness of 2 cards. But say you wanted to put 4 or 5 business cards here in the back. That's the way I do. So if I go up and knock on somebody's door and they're not home, I can pull out a card. I can get my Maxpedition tracker pin that I keep on my keychain. See the video on that if you haven't already. Make a little note. Put the key back on my keychain. Put this back in my wallet or my front pocket, and then stick this in the door. So this Micro ends up being plenty enough for me. As I said, it keeps 3 cards in here, ID, permit, and credit card, debit card in this slot, about 3 or 4 church cards in the back slot, and then about 3 or 4 business cards in that slot. And it still fits quite comfortably in my front pocket. So the difference between the size-wise between the big wallet and the little wallet, you can see there. And the thickness, it maybe isn't quite as clear because these are fairly empty. Don't want my personal cards in the videos, but that'll kind of give you an idea between the two. But that's the Spartan, the Micro, and one more that I got. And I knew I probably wouldn't be carrying this as a wallet, but what I do, this Urban wallet, what they call it, I keep a stack of business cards in there, kind of like a business card carrier. If you wanted to, you could use that as an ID window. You could fit a stack of, if you've got 15 or 10, 15. Okay, camera just died on me. I was in the middle of talking about the Maxpedition Urban, so I'm going to try to pick up and where I left off there. This is the Maxpedition Urban wallet, what they call it. I knew that I wouldn't be carrying this as a wallet just because of the way it's laid out, but I did have a specific reason for getting this. Now, if you were going to use it as a wallet, just to show you, you've got a slot on the back for keeping an item, Velcro closure, keep it good and tight. You have a slot right here on the inside. So again, that's one on the back, one on the inside, an ID window right there if you wanted to put a driver's license or identification card without having to remove it. Got a clear see-through window there. But the main thing about this Urban wallet is all the space in the middle. I like to keep a good many business cards with me. As I mentioned on the, and it actually takes about double this right here. I don't know how many they say on the website it could hold. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 double thickness business cards. So say 20 business cards, about 10 more right there. So this right here is easily fitting 30 business cards in there, and I could probably fit almost double. So you could easily get 50 business cards in there without stretching it. So that's the reason I bought this. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I try to keep about 3 or 4 business cards in my main wallet that I carry daily in this back slot right here. that I can easily get to. But also keep with me in my backpack this right here, so I can keep a stack with me at all times. That way when these run out, I can just get a few out of here, transfer them over to there. But that is the Maxpedition Urban wallet. So again, a little video on the ones. This is the Spartan. Bought this to use daily, ended up being too much. But I do use it in different circumstances where I have to keep a lot of stuff with me, but keep it organized, or different money groups or receipt groups or whatever separated. So this comes in handy then. But when I don't use the Spartan, most of the time I use the Micro. A lot smaller profile, fits in the front pocket. And then the Urban, if you're looking for something with a little more EDC / tactical / outdoorsy business card style, you could go with that. Or if you just have a big stack of credit cards or ID cards or whatever that you want to keep with you, then this will be the way to go. There you go. That's the Urban, the Micro, and the Spartan. Appreciate you watching. I hope that you take a look at the other videos. Check out the website, preachertony.com, and browse through the other videos on the channel. And I'm sure you'll find something there you like as well. Thanks for watching. Take care.